What's going on, guys? Tony here. We're back in the shed. This episode 8 of season 2, and I have a great guest here. We have Anna Vazquez. Actually, we went to high school together, and yeah, shout out Bishop McDevitt. But yep. So we're here. I want to talk to you guys with Anna here about what she does, how she does her business. There's a lot we got to cover about Vintage by Vazquez. So let's kick it off. Tell them about you. I know you. I've known you for a long time. So tell the people who you are and what you do.
I'm Anna Vazquez. I recently just started a business, Vintage by Vazquez. I actually launched that almost a year from now. Today it'll be, in 1 week it'll be my 1 year. So nice. I'm really excited for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's like huge. And like honestly, to see it all grow, like from a year ago to today, like it's really crazy to think about. Like
100%. And the shed talk's literally a year old, February 3rd.
Oh my god!
Yep, I was literally right after you. So.
I love that.
We're on the up and up.
Yeah,
1 year in, so
yeah, no, it is cool. Like the fact that we went to school together and now we're getting to sit here and like talk about what we're doing now. Like,
yeah, we're doing big things right now. We're trying to at least. We're trying to make it out here.
Right.
So
no, yeah, I love that. And so I started Vintage by Vazquez about a year ago, and it's been a crazy journey. So it started really just with online, like I went to college and kind of started like getting into writing and with communications. Like there are a lot of classes where they're like, build a website and you have to do all those things. So I ended up making a blog, and I think that's what started like, my website, like growing a website and all of that. And then with the blogs, I really started to focus on fashion. That's like what I love. Like I love fashion and clothes and thrifting. So I think with my blog and like being like so into fashion, I brought the two together and started my blog. And then that's when it kind of transitioned into Vintage by Vazquez. From the website that I had in college, I think it was like the fashion feature. And I featured like a lot of things about, just fashion related. But then I kind of wanted to take it a step further and start to sell clothes and make clothes. So that's when that kind of started to come in, and I've always grew up like loving to thrift and shop, and it's like awesome. Like, and vintage is really big right now too. Like
huge. I mean, it's such a good industry. Everybody's wanting to wear vintage clothing. I mean, like literally got this.
Yes.
Buffalo, whatever this Bill's Buffalo Sabres.
I love it.
I don't care about Buffalo, so. But this, I wore it obviously just to throw a little vintage in here myself. But
I love that.
it's a great it's clothing. It really does express kind of a person at the same time too. I mean, I never had like a true passion to like buy and sell clothing, but like I always enjoyed buying other people's designs and art.
Right.
Like that's something obviously it's being sponsored by JC. Like
Aww.
I'm so
I love that too.
It's such a great brand. Like it's something that I back it. Obviously I back yours as well, and it's like. It's something you can create. We have all these big brands and we have all these big names, but then you have, everybody that's growing to get to that point.
Yes.
And, I mean, thrifting. That's a great place to find some great little cops. So.
It is true. Like, it's crazy, too, because, like, I feel like one thing with my brand, my mission, is to really reduce the stereotype of, like, of secondhand clothes. Like, I think over time, I mean, years ago, even when I was in, I think, like, high school, I would thrift and people would look at me like ew. Like, it wasn't really normalized in society to go to the thrift store and shop before. Like, now it's becoming so much more, like, accepted. Like, it's like, I think like with round 2, like when round 2 opened, like they kind of started that trend, and I really like with my brand, like I really wanted to hone in on that and like, make it normal, like make it cool to wear a secondhand piece.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool about it all, is like kind of like seeing how like, people are starting to love coming to the markets where, people are reselling their stuff. And so, I love that. I love that it's becoming normal and it's not, like frowned upon.
People that hate on thrifting, honestly, why? I mean, you're getting clothing. Oh, there's my dog.
Aww.
But you're getting clothing that it may be secondhand, sure. As long as it doesn't have any crazy rips, tears, or anything like that, and it's something that's pretty spot on, like, who cares?
Right.
You're getting clothing that you're going to wear. They washed it, I would assume, and then you're going to go home and wash it. Like,
yeah, exactly. And
what's
like,
the big deal?
That's how I feel about it. Like, I think what I love most about thrifting is, like, you don't know what you're going to find. Like,
oh, yeah.
That's what the funnest part about it is like, it's like, I don't know, like, I'll go in the store and I'll just, like, I'll have something in mind, but I'll just find, like, some of the most unique things, like, that you never find, like, in Kohl's or any of these other stores, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, it's, like, fun. And, like, I have my days that I go, Wednesdays, because they're, like, half-off days. And
see, now you're giving me some tips.
yeah,
I
see,
like this.
the tips, half-off days are the best. Like, I mean, Marpo and I argue about this, too, because he hates going, because the people come, the crazies come out. Like, the crazy shoppers that go out, like, they all come out on Wednesday, and he's like, but I say, going, like, regularly is, like, really important, like, to go at least once a week, because it's always good to keep, like, your inventory. And so yeah, like, I've enjoyed every aspect of it, from thrifting to, you know, like, the photo shoots, like, all of that has been, like, really fun, like, all the creative things that go into the process.
Yeah, and that's the really cool part about your brand. Like, what when you get the, like, what's your process? Like, tell me a little bit about how you create your clothing.
Yeah, so basically, I really start with, like, one inspiration. Like, I honestly get inspiration from everywhere, like, from the Instagram, designers on Instagram, to clothes that I see just on the streets. Like, I'll just, like, be like, whoa, like, I want to make that. I want to make something like that. So I feel like I start with, like, a vision, and, you know, like, then I go out, then I thrift the clothes. Then I'll look for, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And then I'll start to, you know, find those pieces, and then it's either vintage or it's either going to get upcycled, because my brand is not just focused on, like, vintage. It's also repurposed and upcycled pieces. Okay. So, like, this right here, like, I thrifted this, but I upcycled it. Right. So I made something old new again. Yeah. And I think that's one thing I really, like, am really enjoying about this whole thing, is, like, making some old piece, like, new. Like, so yeah, I kind of, it's either gonna stay the way it is, or it's gonna get upcycled, and then from there I have to take pictures of everything. That's the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's a process.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be behind the camera editing. He has to watch this episode, then watch it again, and he goes to edit. Like, I get it.
I hate the part. That process is, like, the part that I hate, is, like, okay, now I thrifted the pieces, now I repurposed them or whatever, and now it's, like, the taking the pictures and then posting them to my website. That's the process. That's not so much fun, but yeah, so that, and then posting it to my website, and then promoting it and pushing it on social media. And social media has been such a huge part of my business, honestly, because
100%.
Yeah,
that's how you get your name out there,
right?
And especially during, like, times where they're unprecedented, not a lot of people want to go out and actually go shopping. I mean, the facts are there. People are obviously online shopping now, but they've been shopping at a progressively, like, increased rate. Right. So putting your brand out there and being able to market that and do that kind of stuff. I mean, huge. There's been, and that's what I have to do for the podcast too. I mean, you have to use the outlets that you're given, because, I mean, especially, this is recorded, so, like, how else are you going to get it? You're going to get it out online. What are, like, when you're going out thrifting, what do you typically look for? Like, is there anything in particular you're looking for, or is there anything, like, for your, like, go through that if you don't mind.
For sure. Like, I, again, like, I always am looking for inspiration first. Right. Like, I'm always looking for inspiration from designers on Instagram, people walking in the streets, like, the clothes they're wearing. Like, I feel like I always first am like, okay, I want to make this. Yeah. So then I will kind of like figure out what I need and, like whatever is involved in that piece.
Yeah.
So then I'll kind of go out and look for it. And like, there are like, honestly, we're really lucky in this area. Like, I actually haven't really realized how lucky we are, like with the thrift stores that we have, but we have a lot. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like from Harrisburg, then we have Camp Hill, then we have like Carlisle has a slew. Like it's nuts. And then like Lancaster is a whole other like
ball game.
Yeah,
there's a lot you can find around here.
It's so fun. And like one thing I want to start is like traveling and thrifting. Like
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, like start to go to different cities and stuff and find cool things. And I already have done that, but like obviously with COVID, it's really hard to just.
Yeah, you can't pick up and travel. You can't
Right.
fly. I mean,
Yeah.
you can, but it's like,
There's
all these rules.
Yeah, all the
I have to
CDC
quarantine for 14
guidelines.
days, like,
I'm
what?
just like, I'll wait. Like,
yeah, instead of just dealing with that, I guess we got to find the hidden gems around here.
Right.
So
that's what I've been doing like recently, is kind of really like starting to thrift in the area. Like obviously Harrisburg's, they have a handful. And then, like I said, across the river, there's like a million thrift stores just in one specific area too. Like, by the Capital City Mall.
Oh yeah.
There's
I got my stops over there.
There's so many.
There's days, and like I'm not like, I don't like, you're very involved in it, but I do thrift like in a good amount, and I always do my route. I always do. I'm either doing an East Shore day or I'm doing a West Shore day.
Right.
I mean, you hit up
because
everything.
there's so many.
You got community aid. You get down the list. I'm not giving any of my secrets.
Yeah. I know. I can't give too many out.
One of them. Yeah. You got one of mine, but
yeah.
no, you always got to do your route. I mean, you go down here, there's how many? 4 or 5.
Yep.
You come down to the West Shore, there's 4 or 5 over there. I've found so many crazy pieces and then I still have them. And mainly, like what I try to find, I mean, stuff obviously I'm going to be looking to wear.
Right.
Not redesign, but like I'm going to be wearing it.
Yeah.
There's only certain things. Like it's got to be tops for me. Like if I find a jersey, I'm definitely copping it if there's no stains on it. Like I don't care what team it is.
Yeah.
I was just telling him off camera. I went to spot down Union Deposit, and pretty much I went in and I found a LeBron James, Cavaliers, no stains on it, $6 in my size, and I'm like, mine.
Oh shit!
And
that's the best.
Yeah,
that's the best feeling when it's your size and like
everything's there.
Yeah.
It was meant for you to buy it. I was like, cool. Found a Vineyard Vines, quarter zip the one day. It was like $6. I'm going, that shit's like $100.
Yeah.
Bet I'm taking it. I don't care if I wear it once.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want with it.
It's
like,
facts.
It's crazy. But
it's facts.
I mean, outside of that, what are your interests? Like, what are some of your hobbies outside of like doing anything thrift wise? Just tell the world about you as a person.
Okay, so I honestly, there's a lot of things that I truly do enjoy. One of them being styling.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm actually pursuing right now. While I can't really do my full-time job, which is marketing at Excel Live. I am the marketing director there. So that's like my full-time job. But right now we can't be open because of COVID, no shows, no events.
Right, that has to be tough.
Yeah.
I know you spent a lot of time doing that, and now it's like completely different.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like? You went through, I'm sure you went through some crazy shit.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, we had a lot planned. Like, that was the disappointing part. It's like, from the concerts down on Riverfront with HU, we had Steve Aoki coming.
I saw that.
Yeah. That was, oh my gosh, like a lot of good, big artists. And what was cool was like being a part of bringing big artists to the city. Like a small city like Harrisburg, like, I mean, it's huge. Like, it's a huge thing. And yeah, we had a lot planned. Like, G Herbo was coming to XL. That was another show we had. So it was really, really difficult to call, all those shows off. And some shows are getting rescheduled. But yeah, it's definitely difficult right now for us. But, hopefully this new year will bring new things with hopefully COVID numbers going down.
Yeah.
Hopefully things get better. But Yeah, honestly, for me, I've just been focusing on the other things I love. You know, I truly do enjoy having events and promoting music and promoting the venue and all of those things. So now that I can't do that so much, I'm focusing more on, my business and styling.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to well, right now pursue wardrobe styling.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been fun. It's been so fun because I grew up modeling, and I think everything that I'm doing now has stemmed from something.
Right.
Like my vintage, like from me loving to thrift and styling with me growing up modeling, like I kind of have taken all the things that I love and like,
You're driving it into existence at this point.
yeah,
No, that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
So that's the coolest part about it. Like for me, like I loved modeling, but I hated the industry. I hated um there's just really, really parts of it that just I didn't enjoy. So I'm taking all the things that I love from it, and styling was one of them. Like working with stylists when I was get booked for castings and stuff like that. I really loved like putting together the outfits and like pulling the clothes. And so that is something I'm pursuing, and it's been really a fun journey.
Yeah, and I think the coolest part of it, and you kind of touched on it briefly, is you're able to do this independently.
Hmm.
You're not, I'm sure, and I don't know how it goes into, how you did with modeling and stuff like that, but
Hmm.
you were under somebody else's watch, and
Yes.
they decide what
Right.
Anna does.
Yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
couldn't be that way.
Right.
I mean, you've seen all over social media different people like Kanye West and
Mhm.
other artists that are literally coming out and like, exploiting these industries.
Right.
Because people aren't able to create and drive and do what they want to do
Mhm.
and be independent with doing it.
That's
Like
facts.
people have so much. The mind has a lot that you can do. You are able to express who you
Mhm.
are in the way you want to be.
Right.
And we all have our different avenues.
Mhm.
But these industries, they're the ones that are taking this into a crazy proportion
Right.
and kind of ruining it. To be
I
honest,
know,
people
it's
they're
true.
ruining creativity.
It's
Honestly.
true. Like like I said, for me, there was just parts of it that from modeling I didn't enjoy, and now I'm like so happy with where I'm at, like with styling. Like I'm so like sure of what I want and what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a good place. Like it's a really good feeling too. So it's like really cool to like, pursue it all now. Like just put it all into existence and see it all just fall into place,
Yeah.
because my vintage brand goes hand in hand with my styling. And I really, part of starting my business was for credibility to begin my styling business. I really just wanted something for people to be like, whoa, like who's that? Like once you see my business, you look twice and then you see like, oh, I do this. I also style. So it's cool like to really have it all come together and like
Yeah.
and yeah, it's been cool to like work with different people collaborating. I've recently been working with LA from LA Prince.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's so cool. We've been working together a lot because he's a photographer. And he does videography and photography.
Yeah.
So it's really important for me as a stylist to really, partner and collaborate with these people. And so it's been cool to like really work with him and us to like work with different artists in the area. Like that's one thing I'm really trying to do is style like, local artists for, different productions that they may have. And
Yeah.
it's cool to like start like where you're from. Like I might as well start, locally.
Yeah, and the big like people say a lot of things about this area. You touched on it earlier, being
Yeah.
that it's a smaller city.
Right.
Obviously, very true. I mean, we live
It
in an
is.
area that what 1 million people in the
Mhm.
city. I mean, it's nothing crazy.
Right.
It used to be honestly when we were in high school. How bad it may have been
I
to
know.
go downtown, like
Yeah.
no shame, like there's whatever it is, but like
Right.
the city has truly changed, and
Mhm.
in my opinion,
It has.
I mean, there's been a lot of growth. There's a lot of
Mhm.
opportunity. And it's not just because I'm from the 717 and I want to rep my
Right.
city. Like, no, like
It's
it's a
true,
legitimate thing
though.
though too.
It is.
There's a lot that's going on here that there's
It
so
is.
many interesting people that are
Mhm.
doing a lot of big things.
It's so true.
I've talked to a lot of people, right, where you're sitting that have
Mhm.
left this area
Right.
and they're doing big things. Kiara was telling us some crazy stories
Yeah.
one day. I'm going, wait, what? Like, that's so cool. And you started right here. What's
Right.
wrong with starting in your hometown
No, it's
and
facts.
staying here?
That
Like,
is facts.
I say that all the time with like recent things that I've done. Like I was
Mhm.
telling you, I bought a house. I
Yeah,
bought it up
so
the street.
exciting.
Yeah, like I bought it up the street.
I love
Who
it.
cares? I made a come up. Like,
Yep.
that's what we're trying to do in this world. And if you got to do it being here, what's wrong
Yeah.
with doing it? You're
There's
doing better for yourself.
nothing.
And that's the whole thing. Like we've talked about this and kind of circles back. You've been happy with what you're doing
Mhm.
instead of being in control of something else. Like you get to do what you want to do, how you want to do it, and enjoy life.
On my time. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the part that I love. Like, you know, I don't have to answer to people, and it's honestly like I'm very thankful like for this city, because like even as I grow up, you know, I feel like, you know, like when we were younger, I feel like we didn't appreciate it as much as we do now. Like now I'm looking at it, like even during this pandemic, I've really, really realized how awesome Harrisburg is, to be honest. Like there's so many cool people here, you know, and like I said, with bringing artists to the city, that's one thing I wanted to do that was really important to me. Was when I was in college, like living in Philly, like I was working shows when I interned at Live Nation. So that's one thing that I did.
I didn't know
Yeah.
you did that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's how I got into like music and marketing.
Makes sense.
I interned at Live Nation. It was my junior and senior year. And I can't even tell you the coolest stuff. Like I got to, you know, work backstage at Made in America and work all these festivals, and I just actually still am doing it. Like I still freelance for Live Nation, and I work shows at Hershey on the side from XL. That's something I can't do right now because of COVID. But once it's back, yeah, like you know, like it was so cool to be in Philly and see like all these artists coming, and then to come home and start to work for a company that's kind of small. Like our venue is a small venue, we're a small city, and like help build that. Like, you know, it was so awesome, like to see all that and like start to see these big artists coming to a small city like that. And I feel like that in that moment, like when I began working for XL, it's like when it hit me, like, whoa, like the city is really making moves. Like we're really bringing people here, and even the local artists, like there's so many talented local artists.
Really is.
Like it's insane. Like I still am just like, even today, like to this day, like meeting new ones. I'm like, I didn't know you were, you know, an artist. And it's cool. Like it's
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's the capital of the state. I mean,
Right.
whatever. I'm gonna rep my state. I'm gonna rep my city until I die. I don't really care.
Yeah.
You can say what you want, but
facts.
no, I mean that's awesome. But like with what you do, what was the most memorable experience that you've had? I mean, anybody that you met that you connected with? I mean, you were at concerts at Live Nation or through Live Nation and MIA and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
who were some cool people you met and like talked to?
Oh my god. Well, I ran into J. Cole.
Oh my god. I'm already jealous.
That was
artists, yeah.
That was really, really cool. Like running, like he was so nice. He was so, well, it was a funny story. The security guard at the gate, like mistaken him for someone trying to, because he had his hood up.
Yeah.
It was hysterical. And he looked at her like, do you know who I am? She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, it was cool to just be right there and just see all that. And like, it was really cool. Like the experience, like from that, I feel like all the experiences I had with doing all that were amazing. But I'm really, really, truly enjoying like right now with like growing the markets, you know, starting Project 1500. Like, I feel like, you know, that has been really enjoyable for me. Like, I feel like we have been missing out on like that in the city. Like you didn't see streetwear much. You can't go out and just like buy it anywhere. Even vintage, like vintage streetwear, you know, like all those things. Like there's not really, I don't know, there's not many stores around here. Like I know that there's Bullseye just opened, that one store
Yeah,
at
they just opened the
Capital
new
City
one.
just opened, but like realistically, like there weren't a lot of places to shop for your favorite brands, your favorite streetwear brands. So to like start those markets, you know,
Yeah.
from Project 1500 to now being a part of Doja Street Market has been really cool. Like,
Yeah, it's a cool experience, I bet. I mean,
yeah.
you're able to kind of be a part of the growth of what's to come of the city. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's a huge thing in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've said this on many podcasts before, and we talked about the
Mm-hmm.
talent that's here. Like, it's all about you wanting to do it. You have
Yeah.
the drive and the passion to do it. And
Right.
there's a lot of people that are going to give you shit. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people that are going to have their own opinions.
Right.
But guess what? You're doing things that they're not able to do.
Facts.
You're giving your time and effort into something that you believe in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really all that matters.
Right.
I mean, you're literally doing things that a lot of people cannot and won't do, but they'll talk about it.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that have a lot to say,
Yeah.
obviously out there, but they're not out here doing it every day like yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, and on that, I mean, what do you have to say to like creators, people that want to do and be independent like you've done? What kind of advice do you have to people? Like demons to face, anything like that?
Honestly, I would say do something you love. Like,
Right.
If you're gonna start a business, make sure you're passionate about it. Like, make sure it's something that you really truly enjoy, and it's not just for money. Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I'm not out here just for the money. Like, I really, really, really want to grow a brand that's going to make a difference. And like in fashion, like with my clothes, like I'm really trying to like make a difference in fashion with, you know, reducing the stereotype of recycled clothes, and also like people buying secondhand, period. Like honestly, like there's so many like with global warming, and there's so many like issues with that. And I feel like in every industry, like fashion is literally like the number one, you know, like issue with like global warming. Like
Okay.
like
I never knew that.
yeah,
Actually.
no, it's well, it's a big factor of our, you know, I feel like if you think about it, like, okay, so a lot of people just throw away clothes. Like some people don't take them to Goodwill. Some people don't take them to, you know, these secondhand stores. They just throw them out. Like they
Right.
literally just, and like that's the one thing that I'm like recycle your clothes, take them to Goodwill, or have them upcycled. Like I've honestly really enjoyed, I've had a lot of people contact me to upcycle pieces just that they have in their closets because like there's stains on them,
Right.
or you know, so I've really enjoyed those projects specifically because if they didn't contact me, chances are they would have thrown out that piece. Like they
Right.
would have just never worn it, you know? So I just really want to make a difference in fashion through clothes, like through the clothes that I resell, and you know, taking something old and making it something like new again, you know? So
It's something people can appreciate. I mean, clothing is something you wear every day.
right.
Clothing is something that expresses you, like I started this with.
Such a form of expression. Fashion is a
100%.
huge form of expression, and I personally love using it to express myself. Like
yeah.
that's the number. I absolutely love expressing myself through clothes. So I agree. Yeah, like it's.
I make sure I have something different on for every episode.
Yeah.
I have to, honestly.
I
go back
love
and
that.
check myself, and I'm like, all right, as long and I can't wear bootcut jeans. I fucked up on that one.
Yeah.
I got roasted for that. But
Yeah.
thanks
Yeah.
everyone. But yeah, especially him.
Yeah.
The huh?
You missed the Uptown memo.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I love that you don't ever repeat your clothes.
Yeah, just it's only on camera. I always
Yeah.
like we all have a closet and that's all we keep. But like, yeah, I have to check myself. I've worn a suit once. That was a bad idea.
A suit? You wore a suit?
One time, bad idea. But it was a relationship episode, so
Oh,
that's kind of why I
really?
had to dress up nice. So
Oh,
that's kind of why I
really?
had to dress up nice.
Oh,
But,
so
yeah.
it was like you were introducing your girlfriend?
No, actually, it was single me. It was just single me on camera acting like a dickhead, to be honest. But no, whatever.
That's hilarious.
Cool. Anna, well, thank you obviously for stopping in. Obviously
Yes.
it's great to catch up. We catch up on social media a lot, but it's nice to sit in the shed,
It is.
talk about what you do, talk about what we're doing, and enjoying it all.
Yes.
But as always, I do wrap this up with a nice final shed thought for you guys for the week. Mine this week is, it's not meant to be corny. It's really not. But it did touch on what we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
I lived by this it's actually my senior quote for soccer, believe it or not.
Aw.
I thought about it this week solely because, I've been a little not motivated, to be honest. I hit one of them weeks, I know I have depression and stuff, and it kind of hit me this week. And it's all right when that stuff happens.
Right.
Like, it is what it is.
It
but
is.
The one thing I always lived by is Rocky Balboa. And the reason I'm saying it's because I went to the Rocky statue this weekend, and I spent $20 on some random hobo to take the pictures. But I felt good because I gave her money. Anywho, I was whatever. But Rocky Balboa said in one of his movies, it was to his son Bobby. He said, they were talking about life, and he didn't like being in Rocky's shadow. But in the end of the story, Rocky says, it's not about how hard you get, or it's not how hard you hit. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. My final shed thought this week is to keep moving forward. And the reason why is what it says after is that's how winning is done. And everything that we do in life, we're going to have people that always want to come at you. There's people that want to bring you down, beat you down. No matter what goes on. It could be your own clothing brand. It could be your own podcast. It could be your business. It could be a personal life.
Right.
There's always something that's going to try to bring you down. But the one thing that you need to do every single day is keep moving forward. You don't get tomorrow. You just don't. But you can imagine what you're going to do tomorrow so that you can continue on what you're going to do today. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I love that.
That's my final shed thought this week. It's a little touchy, but hey, whatever. But
I love it.
So, guys, thank you for tuning in. As always, we got a lot more coming for you. We're, again, Season 2, Episode 8. We're almost done, but we had Anna here today to talk a little bit about herself and what we do. So, where can they find you out on the web?
Yes.
On the World Wide Web.
Go check out my website, annamarievazquez.com, and I'm also on YouTube, as well as Instagram at annamarievazquez and vintagebyvazquez.
Perfect. You know where to find me, as always. I'm at Tony Shed Talk across the board. Follow us here at Shed Talk Podcast. We're all, obviously, you can find us on YouTube. You find us on any other podcast streaming, Apple Podcast, whatever. I'm sorry. But you can also find our producer here, Neil. I always forget to shout him out because I'm a terrible person. Neil, thank you for everything you do, as always.
Shout out to Neil.
Shout out Neil. You can find him at NeilDM22. And actually, if you want to find him on Twitter, he's typically roasting people. So that's the best part. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. We like you. We love you. And we'll see you next time here in the shed.